Now you're on the equity ownership page. Okay, so remember, you started off with free sustainability and you picked a path. And in this case, it doesn't matter whether you clicked on path number 1 or 2. You've already bypassed the first orientation of whatever path you needed to pick, whether you had money or whether you had time. In other words, it doesn't matter whether you have money or time. Either path that is good for you or that is right for you is the path that you should select, okay? So that differentiates free sustainability from many money-making organizations out there that if you don't have money, you can't get involved. In this case, you can get involved. And actually, to put our money where our mouth is, we actually start off by making 1 million equity shares available. Okay, so long story short, you are at the equity ownership page, and if you read it, and you have to read it, because why be involved if you're not going to take the time to read something that's being offered to you? And as short as this is, I think it's very simple. But let's talk about equity real fast. Equity is ownership. Whether you remember in the housing market, a lot of people bought their houses at X amount of dollars. Years later, it was worth X plus dollars, whatever that plus may be. And so that was the difference in equity. It's kind of like the profit or the growth factor in ownership. You bought it for $1. Next thing you know, it's worth $2. Okay? Something happens in the market, it's worth less than $1, less than what you paid for it. It's now worth 25 cents. That's the equity. And that goes up and down depending on the market, depending on the company, depending on a whole bunch of factors. Okay? So you look at Apple. You look at Microsoft, you look at Alexander Graham Bell when they first started off. I'm sure there was people that thought they were absolutely nuts, but Alexander Graham Bell continued, and today there's, I don't know of anybody personally, well, I know one person, strange person, that does not have a telephone, or a cell phone rather, but has a phone at home. Long story short, it's equity. We're making it available. And you can earn equity in our organization and all the companies and profit centers under the umbrella. You can earn equity in there, which means at the end of the year, whatever profits are made, you get a disbursement of dividends, which means whatever percentage of the company you own, and that's what the equity shares represent. Whether you own 1 share, whether you own 1,000 shares, whether you own 100,000 shares, and whether you purchase them with money or you earn them via sweat capital or sweat equity. You did a service, provided, contributed, something measurable and acceptable by the organization. We sign off, and then we just keep you posted as to how many shares you're earning, throughout the year. And towards the end of the year, we give you a cutoff period, and we say, okay, let's cut it out for now. Here's how many shares you've earned all year, and then when the disbursements are made, at tax season and so forth, then you receive your percentage represented by the amount of shares that you own. So if we have 1 million shares in the company, and you own 1 million shares, then all the profits at the end of the year go to you. If you own half 1 million shares, then half of the profits of the entire organization and its subsidiaries goes to you. If you only own 1 share, then only 1 millionth of the profits at the end of the year go to you. Okay? Very simple. So what does that mean? What can you do? Well, do things. Every time that you contribute something to free sustainability and pay it forward on Anastasia, it makes your shares more valuable. Why? Because if you're doing something positive, and I'm doing something positive, and 100 people or 100,000 people or 1 million people are doing something positive, then that means that 1 share that you own, or the 100 shares, or the 1,000 shares, however many shares you own, they're worth more money. Why? Because people are adding value. And get this, folks, time and effort is valuable. That's measurable. It doesn't have to be with just money. People need to wake up. It's not all about money. It's about quality. It's about effort. It's about